If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. Okay, so let's talk about this new Fivio Foreign record, B.I.B.L.E. And I made a lot of videos about this leading up to it, going over the track list, going over everything we know and all the information we had, so y'all could tell that I was excited for this. This was an album that I thought could elevate him to like yet another level artistically. This is his first studio album at the age of 32, so in today's day and age that is pretty old to come out with a debut record, but I had some high expectations. Fivio has performed pretty well on Donda 2, City of Gods, all that Kanye stuff, so I was excited. I thought that, this could really be another stepping stone in his career. So this dropped last Friday, April 8th. It has 17 songs and spans across the length of 51 minutes. So quite long for an album, but nowadays that's kind of like, what the average probably is. We have a lot of features in here that I was really excited about. I think there are only 4 tracks out of the 17 that don't have features. So that is, that speaks kind of for itself. I'm usually not a fan when artists have that many features on their record, but I gotta say in total the features were used really well on this record, so I can't really complain, But let's go through these. Let's see what I thought about the tracks and what I think about this album in terms of where it fits in his discography. So we start off with On God. A Casey feature is on here, which I love, and we've already heard that in the trailer that we got for the album. I really like that the album starts out like that and not with just like another drill banger. I really like that he's referencing, actually God on here and talking about his faith. So there's not like some pretentious stuff that he's calling it Bible or just because it's that Jizza album. So I'm really happy with this track. Honestly, and I thought that he also performed pretty well on here. Casey obviously as well. The next one is Through the Fire with Quavo, which was another track that we've heard. I like how he comes in there like fighting my demons or fucking this demon. I like that. I really like that. Kind of had high hopes for this after he started out with Kanye made Through the Wire and now I'm making Through the Fire. Of course, then you got high expectations when he's comparing it to Through the Wire. It didn't really live up to that, but still it was pretty solid. Just those first 2 tracks, I was like, okay, he's on to something. This is like a really solid drill project as well, and not just drill in terms of like the hype stuff, but also using those drill elements to also make some more mellow songs. Magic City was the single that released before the album dropped. Didn't like it that much. I thought it was catchy in some ways, but just, I don't know, like a dumbed down version. It's kind of ironic how he starts out with like referencing God and Through the Fire, and then he's just like, dumbed down, just strip club music, but I know that is what, some of the songs have to be. Then we have City of Gods, ended up on here, really happy with that, with Kanye and Alicia Keys, obviously a banger. We don't need to talk about that. What's My Name with Queen Naija and Coyle Ray. I like how the interpolation worked on here, and I think that he also did really well on these more like slower love kind of songs, if you want to call it that. I'm really happy with that. We see the same on Hello with Chloe and Casey as well. One of my favorite tracks on here as well. Also, not just because of the features, but because how Fivio could use like the drill aggressive sound that he usually uses and then turn it into like a more mellow sound. This is one of the main things that I'm getting from this album, so I really enjoyed that. In between, you had a track called For Nothing, and on the tracks that don't have features, it's not like those seem like bland or like something is missing, but those can really be just standalone tracks that also are really enjoyable. Then we have a track with A$AP Rocky called Confidence. I was hoping for this to be longer. It's only 1 minute and 50 seconds, but Rocky did pretty well on here. I love to hear Rocky on that drill stuff, for real. Then we have that little Yachty feature, Slime Them. This is probably one of the weakest tracks on here. Yachty doesn't really have a good feature. I like though that he used the features, be it Rocky or be it Yachty, not in the way that both of them just did like a second verse on a track, but he used them in a creative way on the hook and kind of like traded bars back and forth with them and didn't just throw like a random verse on there. So I did enjoy that. Feel My Struggle, also one of my favorite tracks on here. Seems very personal. I also like the vibe of this. Like it's more dark, but not like just aggressive, violent, but it's kind of like you put this on, you're like, okay, it's demon time now, you feel me? So I like that one. World Watching with TJ and Young Blue. I thought TJ, had a pretty cool hook on here. Didn't like Blue's verse. I was hoping for that to be better, but it is what it is. Bible talk with DJ Khaled, exactly what I thought it would be. Just DJ Khaled being like, yo, they tried to bring us down, but the Bible is good and we up. So I don't know. That track is really like, it fits the theme of like Bible and faith, but it just doesn't bring a lot to the album. It kind of feels pretentious to have something like that just thrown on here to kind of have it in the concept. So I didn't like that too much. Changed on Me with Vori and Polo G is amazing too. One of my favorite tracks on here. Vori, amazing performance. We've been on and off the grid. Polo did pretty good as well. So gotta say that. Left Side with Blueface, I like Fivio's part, but why is Blueface on here? Come on, I don't know, but I said that before the album dropped as well. Love Songs with Neo, like that one really much as well. And then Whoever and Can't Be Us, the two solo singles closing out the album, were also really enjoyable, especially also Can't Be Us as like this longer outro with 4 minutes and 13 seconds, the longest track on here, I think, aside from Hello or like City of Gods. So I like that. It wasn't just like a random outro, but I think it seems like he cared about the outro and was like, I want to give people something, on the way after they leave this album and just go back to what they're doing. And I think that really makes this album stand out in a way that's like, I really took something from this. So that's my thoughts on this, on all the individual tracks. All in all, I'm really happy with this. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you've probably also seen that I enjoyed the album quite a bit while listening to it. I posted some live reactions to that. I think Fivio really leveled up on this one, especially also turning his more aggressive violent style into these more mellow songs that can also be personal and emotional at some point. And I really like that. I think the mixing and production, to kind of get into that just for a second, at some points just take some of the low end out of his voice. Sometimes it's just really muddy when you listen to it on high quality speakers or like some, not just like a phone speaker. So that's one critique point that I could give. But aside from that, I think the production was pretty all right, and I'm really liking his style of like that Brooklyn drill. I think that is a style that I could really get used to. So Fivio, B.I.B.L.E, leveling up. I'm excited for what he got coming next. I could really see him on like some legendary Kanye type beats, and just murdering that. So yeah, that's my thoughts, my opinions on this record. Now I want to know what you think about this. Were you excited for this? Did it live up to your expectations? What are your thoughts on all the individual tracks? What's your favorite track? What's your least favorite track? What's your favorite feature? Who were you most disappointed by? I already know it's Blueface, but still, let me know. So all your thoughts on this album and all of your reviews on that, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.